Hello. It's been 3 years since last I did my video on all my shock darts and recon arrow lineups, and I was watching my old one, and I noticed there are many crucial lineups missing that I use nowadays. At this moment, my peak rank was Ascendant 1. Back then I was probably like Plat 1, Plat 2. And the simple arrows, improvised ones just, worked out because people didn't really expect that. But in these high ranks, high diamonds, ascendants, and I play sometimes against immortals as well, they they just instantly destroy it. So yeah, so I decided to do a revision on this video. Might be a hefty one, but we'll see. I'll try to keep the structure the same. There are some arrows I don't really use anymore, but I'll still show them again because, well, it's nice to have it for a future reference, So yeah, we'll start with the recons. From attacker side, and then from defender side, and then I'll do the shock dart lineups. This one is from attacker side towards B. You see this moss patch, you see the first T-shaped cross here, and you just stand in the middle. You look up in the sky, you do one bounce, and you put the right diamond, right edge on here, then you bring it down so the lineup horizontal like bar line is just slightly below the shadow on this window. So, and you bring it like a pixel or two away from the edge there, and you do a 2 bar, and it should land up here. Alright, so I found out the lineup. I thought it was different. I just remembered wrong. Sorry about that. It is still, like I explained, instead of below upper line, it's the lower bar around the shadow area. And then you one bounce 2 bar. And then it should land here. Close enough. It's still bad, but you want to land it here. It really does take some practice to pull it off every time. But yeah, I haven't used it in such a long time. It's cool. It's a cool lineup. The issue is usually the team wants you to push with them, right? So
Scanning ahead.
Yeah. So this time I put the lower line on the edge instead of on the shadow. This is fine. This is fine because it actually can see still here. If it previously landed, up here. Where's my fucking name? Up here, and it wouldn't see anything in the front really. It wouldn't see even this place. It would only see this part, here, here, and here, and CT a little bit. Yeah, that was a little rough, but that's generally the lineup for this one. Next lineup is the one I fucked up in the video. Is you wanna put the right, look at this, where my crosshair is. I want to put that edge of the bar, box thingy, up here, right, where my crosshair is. So, in the video I put it on the edge here, which is wrong. You want to put it a bit more to the right instead.
Scanning ahead.
And then it should hit the wall here. It still does see some CT. Ideally you want to hit it on the edge, right? But This is already better than the old video. Another one is a simple one. You don't need really any lineup. Is when your team is like about around here, ready to push out. Then a good lineup to have if they're straight going through cat or whatever this was called. Is just a simple lineup on the tree.
Scanning ahead.
It literally sees entire side, except if they decide to hide here or backside or here. But I've never seen anyone hide there from. So, oh shit, sorry. So that shouldn't be a problem. Next is lineup also from this corner is a different lineup that I rarely use, which is nice to have for having more info towards cat specifically. If you're smoked like this something, you can't really push out easily, and your only choice is here. You can still do the arrow here or the previous from here. Side note, the one I showed from here, you can just do it normally, which I do is just a simple 1 bar on the back wall. It also works. It's not as great. It won't see CT, but at least stairs, you know, are seen and stuff. The lineup for cat is you just stand in the corner, you aim around mid from this little thing here. This is actually a wall. It might not seem like it. You aim in the middle, 1 bar full charge, and it just lands here. It sees a lot of actually. Yeah, if you're smoked, someone might hide and sneak up, but that's a different matter. Yeah, for taking B. That's it. That's all of the recon lineups I use. Oh, never mind. There is a thing you can do from Link. I haven't done this in a long time, but you could do bounce it from this here and land it around the wall over here, and if your team decides to push mid even through a smoke, well, if they hide here, you'll spot them, you can spray through. If there isn't a smoke, well, either way, both sides will be cleared. So yeah, in case of smoke, you'll have to check this, blah blah blah. And you have to worry about this and this, and I'm not gonna get into that bullshit. Yeah, so yeah, as cool side note I wanna add is you can wallbang this. Many people don't do that. I don't know why. I've had so many kills where I just reveal like this or in another way, and I spot someone standing in the corner here.
Right here.
Either here or here. And you can literally just wallbang this. You can do that from here as well, like. See, this is perfect. Many people, especially on ecos and stuff, they hide. But that's as a defender. Sorry, I'm fucking burping, man. So yeah, to revisit is just on the edge. No, I don't do this really either. So just spare me. What the fuck? Then Yeah. Do that with a 2-bar instead. One bounce, of course, and you aim up here.
Scanning ahead.
Otherwise, as you saw, it will hit the fucking lamp, and we don't want that. I think there is actually pretty perfect. There's not much you can do from this angle. You
Revealing
can
area.
do a lineup here. I don't have any because my arrows are more useful towards sight and stuff, so I don't really recon this much. All right, so from mid, top mid, there is generally one or two things I can do. Not I can do, but like what I do. One is this arrow,
Scanning ahead.
which is in my old video as well. Same idea is to wallbang these spots if they're hiding, if they're rats and shit. In high elo, people don't do that much, unless they're actual rats, like French, or they're Nico or something, you know, cheeky. Besides that, I also have it's a little risky. A lineup is, I try to peek like this, and I generally aim below the shadow of this roof here. And what it does, it lands on the up here, right? And it sees market, it sees pizza, and it sees city, which is very handy. Because people don't really hold here, because if it's you have no cover. If someone pushes or whatever, then you're pretty much fucked. So this will get seen either way, so it's fine. Technically, if this is smoked and you're safe, you can try eyeballing the corner here to see short if you want to push short, but I literally pretty much always, when we go A, I do a different lineup. So the lineup I do when going A is, I got a few ones. One is my most commonly one, which is a God Arrow. By the way, when I say mine, it doesn't mean it's always my creation. My means I use it. Now I'm not saying all arrows I use are not my creations, right? I have my own creations. It's just, you know, yeah, wording. It's for those people who are, you know, too punctual and stuff, which is annoying. Anyway, the God Arrow is you stand in here and you aim around where you see the blue thingy line up with the flag. My crosshair is perfect for this because it just fits perfect. Yeah, it's just straight up perfect. And what I do is just a 2-bar, and it lands up here, and it sees entire side. It sees Gen, dices, a little bit of heaven if someone's opening here, like Jet. It doesn't see hell, of course. It doesn't see this angle. If for some reason. A lot of people omens Jets, what was it, Grim Sages, or whatever, play here, or can play here, and they will get spotted, so that is no issue. Someone's here camping, if they're in, let's say there's smoke trail or whatever, then this won't be seen. And this corner actually also won't be seen, which I actually didn't know. So yeah. My second lineup is from this box. You go in the corner all the way. You put your right bar on in the middle of this plant fucking pot or whatever you call it, like so, and you do one bar,
Revealing area.
and it lands on this cannon instead. It is slightly worse lineup because it's much easier to hide from a gen, and that dice is. That is why I don't really use it much. I do sometimes use it to change it up a bit. But yeah. Alright, so I confirmed the lineup what I was thinking, and I actually do have one more. It's from this box in the corner. I don't use it much because we have a fucking Brimmy on the team, or me. Well, mostly just Brimmy, who lineups from this spot, and therefore I don't really get used this much at all. So that's that. So what I do is I go down from this spike and extending from this one until the two meet, and I do one bar,
Scanning ahead.
approximately like that, and it lands on this box here. It sees heaven. It doesn't see this though, but it sees entire backside pretty much. It doesn't see, of course, this gen, but if you're already pushing and you have thrown, let's say, a molly or something, then they have nowhere to hide. They can't hide here, of course, because you're pushing. They can't hide here. They can only hide hell. This one
Revealing area.
can see that, yeah. It won't see if someone is hiding here though. And it won't see, of course, if someone is hiding here. I had to confirm this, don't worry. No, you don't have to perfectly try to line up with this fucking edge. There's literally no point. As long as it lands around here,
Scanning ahead.
as long as this thingy extends enough to be able to spot more, this
Revealing
that's fine.
area.
This won't to do. Because it's, as you see, it sees only a small angle of heaven. It doesn't work, so that's good. Yeah, that's a worse arrow. Don't try to do that. Alright, so I think these are all the arrows from attacker side for recons. Now I'll go through the attackers, defender side. Also, on a quick note before we switch to that is these are just the general lineups I use if there's time to line them up. If there isn't, I personally think I'm good enough to be able to improvise to accurately do lineup while running, or judge the strength or bounces needed, etc. So that is up to you to master and shit like that. But yeah, now we go from attacker side. Fucking defender side, bro. Alright, so we'll start with B, just like in my old video. The old video, one lineup I showed there is, you see this brown poop line. You're supposed to line it like horizontally down, like this.
Scanning ahead.
And it lands up here. I had completely forgotten about this arrow, because I've had situations where I could use a vision, and this is a nice way actually to get a kill. There's more lineups I do than just that one. One lineup is you go up here in the corner, you put your crosshair up from the pipe here on the left of this pipe above this ledge, so that the horizontal upper bar line is just under or on the lamp's light thingy here, like so.
Revealing
You do a
area.
one bar, and it lands nicely on this roof, and I've gotten literally probably thousands of reveals this way. If you do it every round, they'll destroy it, expect it, or hide from it, so That is why I have more than one lineup. Another lineup I have from the same spot is, well, it's not really a lineup. It's just being able to do it from just knowing how the arrow physics work. You don't have to stand in there. You just stand at here, and you aim on or just above the edge, not too much, so that it bounces on here. And this is a nice alternative because it also still sees link. This sees link, and so does this one. In both scenarios, it doesn't see here. So I've seen some players being rats and hiding there, like omens and stuff. My latest addition to B side here is a cool lineup I saw in the pro play. I don't really have a super perfect lineup because it is pixel perfect. If you wanna achieve the perfectness there, I just have approximate one, which is I put the corner when you press E. You see those buttons, like what mouse you click to do what.
Scanning ahead.
I put the top left corner on the cloth here, so that my crosshair is just slightly left of the edge here. This is where my crosshair actually, helps again to know where it is. And I do a one bounce full bar, and it lands here. This is the closest I can get to perfection, because even just a pixel shift changes it by quite a bit, and doesn't work much anymore. So yeah, it's a very unexpected lineup for people. Most like whenever I shoot it the first time in a round, if they're here, they're always gonna get spotted. This is my lineup also that from B, the only one that sees CT if someone is hiding. If you switch up from this or this to previous lineups, it sees this if someone is hiding there. The only disadvantage really is it sees the link a bit worse. You can still see this spot is better noticeable, because like it lands around here, right? So look, like you really have to be against the corner. You can't even stand up here, right? So it's neat. What I do also is, they're not lineups, but this is, I think, like
Scanning ahead.
a lot of good Sovas do this. They just fucking
Revealing area.
do it approximate. I also like to do from here. I like to line up
Scanning ahead.
around here, so it lands perfectly on the corner. Sees both here, easy. That's just a quick add-on I wanted to give. So yeah. Another lineup I haven't used in literally months, but it's an amazing one, is if you have saved your arrow, like if you got info early that there is no one really here to worry about, then I save the arrow, and if they're pushing strong, I line up with the second brick here, this dark brick, to the left of it, and then do a tuba. So it lands here. I would suggest doing it a little bit lower than the second brick. As you saw, it was literally on the edge. But this is an amazing arrow if your team needs vision, if they're smoked, and it will definitely spot someone, and your team can play off that while you rotate from B. So that is a great lineup. Forgot to mention, recording this later. When on Ascent, right? When you're retaking B, if you're already here, you can do arrow on the
revealing area.
Tree up there. This is a good alternative to shooting a arrow here
Revealing area.
to land it on the back wall. Well, buggers. Instead, if you're already close and ready to push with your team, or if you are already cleared this in front of boat area, then it's also a good way to catch someone maybe off guard, and if they're hiding here, you can just spray them. That also has happened a lot. So yeah. Now, yeah, those pretty much are my B-sided arrows. From this point forward, I'll try to not to show any improvisations I do, because, well, let's be honest, they're not super consistent. But I do have some lineups from mid area here, which I don't have in the old video. Some of these are not my creations. Anyway, I use these ones. One is you stand along the wall here. You line up this edge with this pillar's edge, like so. And you put the second hotbar line above, or like on sitting on the edge here. Let me show it like this. So like this. In the corner. One bar. One bounce. Full bar.
Ahead.
And this is amazing lineup to show Link. So another lineup I have is from pizza. I go into this corner. And I line up my second bar with this thingy here. This takes a little bit of practice, but it looks like kinda T-shaped with this thingy, right? And you do the one bounce and full bar.
Area.
And it lands on this shit. And it sees entire mid. A little bit Link. And some top mid as well. It's better used if they're already pushed mid though. Because, well, if they're just only peeking, they can just easily kill it. But still, info is info, right? But even though info is info, if you can do it, then it's better to know more than just if someone killed it, right? And that's why you wanna be unexpectable. Alright, so A short. As defender, I don't play short, but I do know one recon lineup that you could use if you wanted to get a sneaky frag. It best works if you're smoked here. If you have smoke, you know they're short, then you can do this. I know this is based on average Jonas lineup, like other arrows I use, but since I could not quickly find out what's the lineup, I think it's probably changed. The thingy here is changed, so it's not exactly perfect to line it up anymore. Probably wrong. But what quickly you can do is to achieve about the same effect. Really, is you have a narrow vision here. Doesn't matter much where you stand. Approximately here, close to the wall. If you need this shit patch, you can call it, and then you do full charge one bounce, and you aim like around on the line of this dark edge here.
Scanning ahead.
If you aim to, yeah, it lands here. Its original lineup lands
right here.
Up here. Mine lands here. Big difference? No. So it's fine. If you aim too high, it's just gonna bounce like if so.
Scanning ahead.
Either inside or also
right
here. So yeah, that's why you wanna aim the edge. If you do a wider one, it's not a big deal. It's just the wider the gap is, the narrower the angle. So it will keep going like this, which you don't want because you want to land it on the edge here as much, because the smoke is just otherwise gonna obstruct the vision. Because if you have it here, then they can just hide behind the smoke. If it's here instead, well, they might get spotted and you can just spray through, for example. That's the idea. I don't do it to just get info. If I would play short, that's the only reason why I would use it. But that's besides everything else around here. If there's fights, it's improvised. But just improvised. Alright, so if I ever play A, which I actually don't play a lot on, but I still do some things. If I'm rotating from B though, I use this lineup. You jump and just shoot it, so it lands on the cannon here. It sees most of the side. If you're rotating to B though, you can do a quick approximate lineup like so. How the fuck? Ideally it should land backside.
Right here.
That's the idea. I guess you could jump as well. I don't know. But yeah, that's the idea. You would only do it if your team is like, you know, already here, ready to tackle the side. For some reason, if you're still here. That was for my past me. If I play A, I generally do only like two arrows. They're not really lineups either, because there's honestly no point to do lineups. I prefer heaven. What I do is just a 2-bar on the back wall. It sees if they're slow pushing or whatever. That's not your Discord. If they're already pushing, or if you know they're aggressive team, then I do this instead. Well, you can tell why. It sees pretty much everything. If I ever play sight, well, I do improvisation like this. No, I don't. Or this, honestly.
Scanning ahead.
More up, maybe. Yeah. You get the idea. I'm not gonna try to line up perfectly. These are just improvisations now. These few. But yeah, that's how I do it. In my old video, I mentioned that I do a lineup from here, where I shoot from under.
Revealing area.
No, I don't shoot from under. Sorry, I shoot it from here. From heaven here, down. My comment to that though is, one, you only do it if you know there is someone. Second is, the one you know under there is the only enemy alive. Otherwise it's literally a waste of recon, of information gather. And the third reason why you want to do it is because the two previous rules apply. And the third is, you want to just spray through the fucking floor here. I would not suggest doing this at all. Either you do this one, which I already showed, or if you're already closer one, then I like to do just a simple one here. So it sees also behind there. But yeah, those are my on-site kinda lineups for a site. I think I've covered all my recons. There's plenty of shock dart lineups as well, so we'll get right to that. So yeah, deja vu. I've been back to this place before. Now I guess we start with B again. Just accept shock darts. It's shocky time. Alright, so the first lineup for the B side is you stand here. Instead of where I said you look here, you wanna look here. Because the spot kinda looks a bit darkish, right? Look, this part looks a bit dark. That's where you wanna put your HUD left side in. Toolbar, and the lamp was correct. You just do that. So a toolbar,
Shock dart.
this, and perfection. So the way you do this is you're gonna put your crosshair middle point on this here. 2 bounces and toolbar. Then you're gonna switch over to here. This is a little pixel perfect, so you have to practice this. This is 1 bounce, also 2 bar. So if I can do it the first time, it should look like this.
Shock dart.
And you saw it there, it hits the default plant there. I use it only pretty much post plant if I get the chance to sneak up here, but that is very rare. I don't really use shock darts otherwise, unless I know someone is here, I'm here. And I just shoot improvised shots. Or from here, you know, stuff like that. But that's pretty much it for B attacker side. From Link, I don't have any arrow lineups for shock dart. If I wanna do something, literally everything is improvised. Top mid, well, I don't have anything either. I also can do improvised, like so, or maybe like this, for example. Or I can do this. You get it, like bounce inside and stuff like that. You get the idea, right? So yeah, I don't have shock darts for this one. So one shock dart lineup is for short, which lands around here. This is a very old lineup. You put the drone where it's the green bar, right? On the left there's the white fucking edge thingy. You put it on the corner here, like so. Then you're gonna go straight down, and until the drone icon wheel is kinda inside what is it, pipe, I guess, let's call it a pipe rail, whatever. Go down, and then you wanna do just a one more. So it's gonna look like this.
Shock dart. Shock dart.
Yes. I don't do it often, I only do it if I know someone plays there every round. Then I can try it. Getting kills like that is very rare, but when I do it, sometimes I do chip some damage, so that's nice. For taking A, I don't have any lineups that would target the default spots or something. I generally play with the shock darts post plant. When taking site, I do like to do something like this though, to make them stress their ass. You know, with shock darts I do it more improvised, I guess, because I can just hit the angles, I suppose. But I do have a lineup for this one, which is, I do have a lineup for right here, for Gen, default plant, and I have a lineup for dices. Alright, so the, yes, I had to revise this, don't judge me. It's been a while. So it didn't take long. So the first, for the default plant, is you want to put the left, again the left HUD dot around the corner in here, preferably more around-ish above this small spike ish. You're gonna do one bar, and then you're gonna go to the tip of this spike, and then Preferably do a jump tap.
Shock dart.
A jump tap, yeah. If you don't do a jump tap, sometimes it can land here or on the edge and not do, especially after the shock dart nerfs where it deals less damage, less max damage, it might not kill anymore. So now I suppose I actually suggest doing a jump tap. For dices, I used to know one online, but I had fully forgotten it. But I remembered one arrow. And I just created the lineup. So the first one is you wanna put the HUD line that's next to the drone wheel on this corner here. This is a bit weird background to be on, but I hope it's, you know, not gonna change much. So you wanna put it like this, right on here. You're gonna do a 2-bar. You're gonna go down until the right diamond bottom corner is on the same level as this spike's tip, just a little bit to the right, around so. And this is how it's gonna look like. Okay, never mind. It's trash. It's better to, I guess, be
Shock dart. Shock dart.
be a little bit lower. Let me, this is just an experiment. Okay, no, this is even better. Alright. So what I did was, instead of aiming here with the thingy, I put the Sova drone icon, left dot on this corner instead. And
Shock dart. Shock dart.
I kept the second arrow pretty much the same. Now it's absolutely perfect, bro. Alright, take this one instead, yeah? Alright, so now it's attacker defender side, shock darts. Let's start with B again. Two lineups I use when enemies are planting default. One is this one from this corner. This is good if you're not smoked, but at my current elo, that's very rarely the case. And for that situation, I use a different one. I'll show afterwards. But for now, this one. So the first is you wanna put your crosshair like you see this window. Give me a fucking all. You wanna put it like on this point. You have the upper pin window part, right? The edge, whatever. You wanna put it here. You wanna do bounce and the 2-bar. And then you're gonna go down. Put the first bar below this dot here, like so. And then you're gonna do a 2 bounce and full bar. And so it looks like this.
Shock dart.
Perfect. So the other one is when you're smoked. You can do it also when you're not smoked, but it's a little bit more riskier because they can easily push you. You have to get the feeling for it, of course, but that's a different topic. So what you do, you stand up against this wall. You line up this thingy with the edge of this wall, like so you don't see it. You're gonna put your first bar under this pillar, roof pillar thingy, do a 1 bar, and then you're gonna look at this line here, in the middle of it, and do a bounce and 1 bar. So it looks like this.
Shock dart.
So it lands
Right here.
approximately there. It's still insta-kill if someone, if you land it while someone is planting. So, mid. I do have a shock dart lineup or 2 I use. I have this one for Link. I don't really ever use this because the situation is just so rare for it. I would recommend using this when you see that they often go link to mid or whatever. You just know they are. And what you do is you shock dart icon, the shock top tip, you put it on here, like so. You do one bar and one bounce, and then you aim on this window a little bit more to the left of the center, and you also do one bar, one bounce. Second lineup is a little bit hard, but it's like this. I fucked up, ignore please. I forgot to mention you line up with this wall here as well.
Shock dart.
It's really hard to line this up properly, first quickly and secondly so they land at the same time. That is very difficult. I've spent lots of time figuring it out. Maybe there is a lineup. I don't really look at community lineups. The reason why second dart is tricky and why you wanna aim a little bit right of the center is because of this. If you aim literally on the center or left, then it's gonna hit this edge. We don't wanna hit it here. And they both land ish here. The aim probably is not to kill someone. The aim is to deal damage. Second lineup I literally made in like 5 minutes. And it was just now spontaneous idea while I was recording this. It was create a double shock dart so it lands here.
Right here.
The reason is because in our elo there are a lot of oppers who just camp there and try to get picks, and yeah, I had this idea to try to punish them, and I created a neat lineup. It takes a bit of practice, so I hope I don't fuck it up. So basically it's like this. You again line up with this same wall and pillar. First arrow, both arrows are from the same position. First arrow is you wanna put the shock dart icon, top part of it, like around here, not touching it, but more down. That's why I said you need to practice it to get the feeling for it, how much down. The reason is because it will hit the roof otherwise. That's why you want it. So it's about here. And then the second arrow is you will aim at the corner of this window here. 1 bar, 2 bar, 1 bounce. The trick here is to time it better. You will do, instead of releasing as you reach the second bar, you will reset the bar and then shoot once it reaches second bar second time. The reason for this is because we give a extra second for the first arrow to travel, so that even if the enemy notices this second dart, they will have almost no time to evade the first one. That's the idea behind this. So I'll try to demonstrate now.
Shock dart.
Something like this instead. Yep, there you go. For a short, I know there are lineups to hit the shock darts for the point, for example. Since I don't play short, as I've said, I don't have lineups for that. I keep it post plant, so when I'm retaking the side of this, and I have a few lineups for that. One is I put myself in the middle of this pipe, No, wait, that sounds wrong, kinda. I put the second bar bottom side on the middle of this pillar space. Yeah. And I do a jump one bar. Then I look down. Put the bar below this thingy corner here and do a tap. So it looks like this.
Shock dart. Right here.
It lands here. If they plant here, they might not get damaged by the first arrow. Okay, so I figured out. I guess the half became of a habit of needing quick adjustion, or adjusting to a specific situation, but I would now do it so the bottom line still is like you put it in the middle, but you drag it down so the bottom line, horizontal line, touches this corner. Instead of like this, you pull it down like so. Still a jump shot, and second arrow stays the same. The difference is I'll do it with recons.
Scanning ahead. Revealing area.
Is that the first arrow? Well,
Revealing area. Scanning ahead.
yes, you wanna do that, what I just did. So, to recap, in the middle here, you wanna put this so the bar line is in the middle and touching both edges here, like so. Jump one
Scanning
bar,
ahead.
and then
Revealing area.
second arrow stays the same. Perfection. Okay, that's how you wanna do it. Alright, so I have from the old video I have said that my future goal was to make a lineup for dices. So here, right?
Right here.
And I've had a lineup before that I made a while ago that landed at the same time, right? The issue is I never really got the chance to fully utilize it well. One of the reasons is because very rarely people planted there, and secondly it's hard to really notice in the heat of the moment if it's either here or here. The difference is very, very tiny, there is one, but in the heat of the moment it's really hard to, you know, decide which one is gonna be the actual one. Anyway, I achieved that goal actually just now. So the lineup is like this. You aim up here, just like this. You're gonna do a one bar, go down, look at the diamond, left corner, so it touches this, and you're gonna just tap. So it looks like this. So. The first arrow takes about 4.5 seconds to land. So if you're committed, then you have to do it as soon as you hear the plant sound. Generally, most people plan default, and
Right
from Jonas I know a good idea when to line up is when you hear them closing the door, then you want to start shooting. But as I said, dices is a very rare spot people actually plant because it's not as safe. So this I think concludes Ascent lineups. Actually no, there's a few more. I've mentioned this in previously with my recons as well. You can do here, and it goes down into this corner.
Right here.
Watching my old video, I remember that you can do the same. Well, I know I've always used this if I have the chance, and it goes back up here. I have had few kills, but mostly just damage. But I've completely forgotten that you can do for this corner as well. And the lineup for that is you stand on the left side here and aim to the right of this window.
Shock dart.
And I know jets and operas and stuff like that like to hide and play that. Especially if they're smoked, they sneak up and stuff like that. So I was looking at my old video and there was an interesting lineup I've actually never utilized. And it's a really cool concept because also there are people who like to camp wine, like killjoys and stuff, to play for post plant
Right
over
here.
here. And the lineup is as such. You stand on the line here, assuming this is safe or you're smoked. You stand here on the pipe right side. You aim in this general direction. There isn't a specific lineup, but if you want to have one, put the bottom right charge bar corner on this thingy here somewhere ish. I don't think you have to be super precise this one, just generally over here. You're gonna do one bounce and one bar. Then you're gonna move. You have to practice this to time it well. And then you're gonna do one bounce and a two bar. And the way you wanna time it is that by the time it reaches two bar, you quickly peek and shoot and go back. And also, so in a way, that the arrow coming down after it bounces, it also your arrow, second arrow, has bounced as well. So I'll try to demonstrate it.
Shock dart. Shock dart.
Something like this. For showing the use of it, I think this is fine. It has some risks, of course, but this is a cool lineup in your arsenal. But yeah, this I think now officially I can say I've covered all my arrows I use. Alright, so now we're gonna take a look at the bind. Compared to previous video, I have some recon lineups I do, depending on the situation. Currently bind and breeze are out of the rotation, so they're not really in competitive queue. So this is also for me to remember the arrows when it does return. So we'll start with B, attacker side. With the B, well, I mean, imagine if you had 4 sides with a D, then you could say, let's go D. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, first arrow is you stand perpendicular to this, and you're gonna put your you see this thingy, you're gonna put the corner on here, do a full charge.
Revealing area.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention we're starting with recons, and this will should land here or here, I guess. It's not a great arrow, but it's one I use. It's great if you wanna clear the hookah ratty spots when your team pushes hookah. It helps to clear the
Right
front camping
here.
corners like under hook as well.
Right here.
C is this one, noob corner. Mostly just front side, I have an alternative you can do here is same place, same lineup, except just pull it down, but you wanna put the corner above this curve here, around here, max, so like so. And then you also full charge.
Revealing area.
And it should land backside. Yeah, there we go. If they don't expect it, they will get spotted. I don't think this is super effective in high mortal, but it can help, right? Another lineup I have, which is actually I use more often now, is I stand around here while the fountain is middle of the fountain is aligned with the wall here, this
Right here.
wall. And then what you're gonna do is approximately here on the this far out. You could align here. It's not your Discord. Go like this, and then
Scanning ahead.
one bounce full bar, and it lands here, and it clears entire TP place and this place,
Right here.
garden. It's nice to know if they're open, if you have to be safe or whatever. If by any chance you come here without using the recon, then what I do, I just shoot
Scanning
arrow
ahead.
here, like so. It's fine. Sees most of it, so that's all. Yeah, that's that. I don't play hookah whenever I push, so I don't really have any lineups for recons here, nor shock darts. So if I had to, I would
Revealing
either
area.
shoot something like this, or I would, after I cleared this place, I would, I don't know, carefully shoot
Revealing
some
area.
kind of arrow. But that is improvisation at this point, and I'm not gonna cover that. There is another lineup from B long, but it targets a backside. What you do is come up here to this fish, go look in the eye, in its hole, walk up to it against the wall, and then look, you see this corner thingy, and that's where you want to aim. You do a 1 bar full
Scanning ahead.
charge. It takes about 13.5 or 14 seconds, and it lands backside. Alright, so there is a lineup for hookah from this
Right
link area, which I don't really ever use, because when we push B, my arrow is more useful
Right
to
here.
clear garden. But if there ever is a need, there is this one. You align left diamond perfectly like so. And then you wanna do a 1 bar. You wanna run forward and jump and release as you're jumping upwards. So it looks like this.
Scanning ahead.
That's funny.
Scanning ahead.
Yeah, it does take a little bit of practice to nail the timing down. But this is not bad. There is probably a more cleaner, better lineup for it. Alright, so another lineup I have is, which I actually just, I know there existed one from this position, but I never really used it, but now I created it. So the lineup goes like this. You put the right diamond bottom corner on this pole here, but you go up until the diamond reaches this wire, like so. Goes basically parallel almost, yeah. And then you just do a 2-1.
Revealing area.
And it's gonna land in a nice spot, which is about equivalent to God arrow. Sees heaven, sees these red spots and entire backside.
Scanning ahead.
And it doesn't see this, it doesn't see this. Those are the main disadvantages, but I'll show you another one that's considered the actual God arrow. So the God arrow for A is in this corner here. You go all the way, and then you're gonna put your right diamond top corner on this leaf here, but instead you're gonna pull down until the bottom right corner of the charge line, outer line, touches the leaf's edge, right? So, like so. And then you're gonna do a 1
Scanning
bar.
ahead.
No. I swear they have fucking changed, man.
Revealing area.
There we go. I don't know why I didn't. So that's how it should be. I don't know why I failed. This sees this spot. It doesn't see this corner, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't see this corner. It sees some of this except here. They can hide here, they can hide here, and they can hide here. This arrow is really strong for and oh yeah, and it sees
Right
this cancer spot. This arrow is better used when you wanna know info on front side, and the previous arrow I showed is for backside. So yeah. There is another simple way if you're in a rush. You can line up like so from here, just approximately. When you see these lights, you just do one
Revealing
bar,
area.
and it just lands. Well, no, that's not. I don't know, man. Okay, never mind. In my old video though, I did a arrow from here where I stand here. One bar and two bar and one bounce.
Revealing area.
Which is not bad. Which is also a thing you can do to change it up at least, right?
Scanning
I
ahead.
guess this would be actually a better one. Yeah. My angle was just too wide. There is a lineup to clear toilet, or people also call it the shitter. I don't know, maybe bath as well. I don't know. Has multiple names. There is a window in the roof, right? So you go into this corner here in the boxes, and you wanna put your crosshair on the. It's hard to see. I'm gonna put the crosshair on this corner here. My crosshair again is perfect for this. As I explained, it's not meant for lineups, but it's amazing. And you just do one bar.
Revealing area.
And land like this. And it sees everything. Alright, so if you have taken the control of bath or toilet, whatever, without needing to use an arrow, there is an arrow you can do, which is my creation as well, to land it on sight and see most of it. So what you do is line up against this wall here until this corner of this, whatever this is, aligns with the line here. Doesn't have to be super pixel perfect, but it's perfectly fine. Then you put your crosshair middle point on this edge, and you want to go slightly left until it goes like so. So let me show closer, like so. You want to aim here, left of this and above this, and you do just a tap,
Scanning ahead.
and it lands on this corner. I would say this is another really good arrow to clear most spots. Of course, it doesn't clear these easy to hide from places, but gives you good control of front side. Alright, so now we switch to attacker side. So those were all of my attacking recons. Now we switch to defender side. I have more arrows than in my old video, which I use, so yeah, I'll show those. While we're here, I'll show nice little quick semi lineup. While rotating from B to A, you can do an arrow from here around the ladder area.
Revealing area.
Go one bar. And it should land around on the edge here, on the wall here, and it gives a really good read for your teammates who are playing here, to know what the fuck is going on, right? So since I'm mainly A player on bind as a defender, I have quite a few lineups from this position right here. If I play heaven, which I do pretty much every time, I do basically the same arrow that I have in my old video, which is 2 bounce full bar.
Revealing area.
And it lands on over here, and it sees this entire entry and some of this. Another you can do from the same position. You don't really have to stand here perfectly. You can do a reveal on
Right
outside of toilet here, which is aim around 45 degrees and between or above this pillar here. if you're gonna aim too much right, it will land on the roof instead.
Scanning ahead.
Or get stuck in here. And what it does, it reveals on this backside, and it most of the time reveals everyone who are pushing bathroom. So a lineup I had in my old video, which I still wanna include because it's still, well, my creation, and it is alternative to reveal too short.
Right here.
I would say this is not as great because it's slower, but still it's an alternative which can help maybe. So what you do is align yourself in front of this wheel gray part edge here. You wanna be straight in front of it, like so. Then you're gonna look up and you're gonna put your right HUD dot line at edge at in the middle of this corner here below the darker brick. If you're gonna aim too much right, then it will hit the building.
Revealing
And you
area.
wanna do a 2-bar, and it should land here. Yeah. So another lineup I have, which is I think from Average Jones, like 2+ years ago, is you line up in the middle of this here. You wanna line up this corner with this ceiling edge, and you want to put your left diamond top corner below this hole here, or whatever this is, and you want to do a 2-bar,
Scanning ahead.
and this will reveal a long B, and this arrow takes about 7 seconds to land, and usually if you shoot it instantly when the round starts, if they decide to push B, you will spot someone, like 100% if you have shot it the first time. Alright, so I have another lineup. You stand in the same place, you line up this corner again with this ceiling. What you do is put the 2 charge bar corners, one on this line and then on this, so the corners touch it. Let me show it. Like so, you see. Oh, never mind, it's the top black line instead of the bottom one.
Scanning ahead.
Like so. God damn it. Yeah, not your this one. And it falls in here. It's fine if it lands over here as well. That can also happen. But yeah, that's generally the lineup here. It's nice if they keep pushing hook and to help your team as well if needed. Alright, so we have taken a look at all my recons from A side. Now we're gonna move on to B. While rotating from A, if the site is being taken or team needs help, I usually do arrow like so.
Scanning ahead.
So it lands on this wall. It's pretty decent, sees most of it. Won't see, of course, like, I don't know. Hook. This one, it won't see. You could try to
Scanning
line it
ahead.
up so that it lands about on the corner, like on the very corner, so it sees some long as well. But yeah, mid running, it's pretty actually tricky to line it up quickly. If by any chance I decide to play B, or I know some of my teammates wanna push mid,
Right here.
then I have a lineup for mid, so that it clears also
Right here.
this pathway. I'm not sure what's the name of it. But you
Revealing
just
area.
put the right diamond bottom corner on this corner here, or this railing or whatever this is, and then you do a 2-bar.
Revealing area.
And yeah, it sees all of this area. It's pretty simple to destroy, because there's you hear it coming down, but you know, maybe you can make some plays out of it. Usually people don't expect it much, at least the first time, so that could be helpful. Alright, so a lineup I tend to use typically when I play B is to reveal a B long. So what you do is come here in elbow, you at this doorway, the corner here, you find this white speck of dust or sand, and you stand on it, and then you wanna do a 2 bounce 2 bar while aiming on this wall here. You don't wanna aim it in the middle, like from on vertical plane you wanna have it in the middle, but on horizontal plane you don't want to aim more right than the middle.
Revealing area.
The reason being that it will, while aiming too much right, will land it on the roof instead. And you can also, for easier sake, just go here.
Scanning ahead.
It doesn't matter. Lands like so. If you're gonna aim almost at the middle,
Scanning ahead.
it usually lands on the corner here. So yeah, up to that point it's fine. The reason why it's not fine aiming like here
Revealing area.
is because it will land inside here and it's pointless. So yeah. So I have some matches I've been playing around. Instead of doing the recon from here, I've tried doing an improvised one to bounce either
Right
here or something, or on the
Right here.
board side over here. This one here.
Right here.
But I never had really a lineup, so I just now made it in like maybe 3 minutes. There are 2 slight different variations you can do. Basically both are the same. So what you do is come here against this wall, you line up so this is straight. Doesn't have to be super pixel perfect. And you wanna aim your shock dart top lightning spike thingy on top icon inside the crack of this ladder. So I'm gonna show you here. The second variation is you do all the same, just you look, you line it up here. The difference is gonna be this, I'll shoot both. So this is
Revealing
the
area.
first one. This is a safer recon to shoot a bit, right? Hits this and sees everything. You can't really hide from it, except only destroy. The other one is this one.
Revealing area.
And if it doesn't fail, well, it didn't, but you can do it better. I managed to land it literally on that fucking very corner here. And I bet you $100 enemies will think that it will go out of bounds and they will not worry about it. But at the last moment it will actually hit.
Scanning ahead.
And they will get spotted. I hope I can do it now. There we go. This. I think I've covered all of the recons I use on Defender side. We'll be moving on to shock darts now. Alrighty then, we'll do some shocky darts. So the first arrow, I don't really consider it a lineup nor improvisation either. I saw it from a pro player, Hiko, I think his name was. He was also CS player. You can get land a shock dart inside here if someone's camping. Very simply from this position. What you do is aim at this wall, 1 bounce full charge, and it lands here. You can add a second bounce.
Shock dart.
Which might or might not bounce off. You can do a bit wider then.
Shock dart.
There we go. Alright, so I have a shock dart lineup for default.
Right here.
It's not mine, my creation. So what you do is you put a little horizontal line that's between the drone icon and shock dart icon. And its right corner, you put it on this square's bottom right corner. Like so. Then you're gonna do a 1 bar, and then you're gonna just pull down with your mouse and then tap. It is a little bit of a timing thing, but I noticed a good way to approximately know what's the right angle to shoot at. It is, you shoot the second arrow when you see the first arrow landing down, and it like kind of almost touches your crosshair. So I'll show you.
Shot that.
You saw that? Yeah. It is also a bit of a timing thing. It's not always like you can wait, put here and then shoot. You can't do that, it's gonna fail. You pull down until approximately 45 degrees, and at that moment the arrow should almost touch your crosshair, and that's when you shoot. And as you saw, both landed perfectly in there. While watching my old video, I had made a lineup. Either it was mine or Average Jonas, I honestly don't remember. That lands
Right here.
for this plant. People usually don't plant here because you can easily get wallbanged. So it's very unsafe. So you would plant only here if you have full site control. But either way, the way you do it is the same middle line between the drone icon and shock dart icon, the right corner. You put it here. So imagine a line going down here and this line, them crossing, and that's where you want to put it, like so. You're gonna do a 1 bar, then you're gonna pull down and have both diamonds above the ladder here, like so, and then you're just gonna jump tap, so it's gonna look like this.
Shock dart.
You wanna, of course, shoot it while you're going up the jump animation. So I do have one shock dart lineup from Hookah for default spot. This lineup has a lot of disadvantages because you're kinda exposed here. Secondly, it takes a little bit of time to land because, well, this is the biggest limitation, or the roof, why you can't do much out of this place. First arrow was my creation, second is I saw from, I think, Average Jonas video like 2.5 years ago. Yeah, it's only for default. So, and the lineup is a bit tricky. So what you do is you line up the box with the wall corner here. You're gonna aim at the cross of, imagine this is a box here, there are lines here at the cross over here. And what you're gonna do is do a 2 bar, then you're gonna step on the side here, aim above this, just above this gray black metal sheet here, and above this bar, fucking stripe thingy. And you're gonna do one bounce and a tap. The lineup should look like this. You can do a better timing, where you wait like a second more before you shoot the second one. So I'm trying to do it.
Shock dart. Shock dart.
Better. You can do it. You can practice this to have it perfect timing. So the lineup takes about 6 to 7 seconds. So you have to shoot it way before the enemy diffuses. That is also another disadvantage. So yeah.
Shock dart.
There we go. That's way better. So, okay, so the first lineup for a default, that is here.
Right here.
you come here short, you go up here, stand in this corner, look up in the sky. You wanna put your left diamond right corner about where it starts to curve here. Then you're gonna do a 1 bar, then you're gonna pull down until the charge bar line is this light is in the middle of this, like so. So it's gonna look like this.
Shock dart.
I haven't used this lineup in such a long time. What am I even saying? From my last old video, I used a lineup I actually never get really the chance to use because it's rare. Very rare I get the chance to come short while the bomb is planted at the triple box. Practically never. But the lineup was like this. You look from this tip of the leaf around this height from this corner here, and you put it like this. You can do 1 bar, and then you're gonna look at the tip of the leaf and do a tap. So it's gonna look like this. I have not tried this before. I'm just trusting my past. And there you go. I don't know if this is my lineup or someone else's. +1 in the arsenal, I suppose. I do have 2 lineups from Toilet. I don't really ever use them either, but I'll include them nonetheless. One is my creation and the other I saw. My creation was inspired from the one I saw. The one I saw I'll show after, because I need to revise KW. So what you do is, this is for triple box from bathroom. So what you do is go up against this corner so that you don't see the building, this building in the background, approximately so. Doesn't have to be pixel perfect. And then you're gonna look at around here, and then you're gonna put the right diamond top corner on this one. And
Revealing area.
it's only 2 arrows, like so. If you're smoked, it's a clutch situation. You're stuck here, you can't do anything, or you're walled off. Then this is a nice thing you can do. So, alright, I figured out the lineup that inspired me. I think it was also Average Jonas. Yes, I used to watch him quite a bit when I started out. This targets the default spot around here from Toilet. And you're gonna stand in this corner and look at the ceiling here, and you're gonna aim at this corner here, dark a bit corner, and you're gonna do a tap.
Shock dart.
Like so. Simple one, yeah. I think this concludes all of my shock darts on attacker side on bind. So now we will move on to defender side. Alright, so from defender side, there is an arrow you can do on truck plant, and the lineup is quite tricky, and you want to shoot it before they actually plant. Nothing has changed from the old video. You're gonna put the left drone line, left end of it in the middle of this square here, like this, and do a 2 bar. And the tricky part is the second arrow is that you'll have to pull down and be able to spot quickly the lineup where to shoot the second one. And the second one is you wanna aim the bottom right big HUD line, second dot from the right, in the middle but under this imaginary line here, around here-ish. So it's gonna look like this, you see. And you can probably feel why it's tricky is because you have to shoot it and then instantly quickly go down, being able to spot this triangle and line it up, so like so. I will attempt to do it.
Shock dart. Shock
You wanna
dart.
do a 1 bar jump shot, and it's gonna land like so. Alright, in the old video, that was all of my arrows I used on A, and sadly that was you know, it for it. But I do have some more. One is if you're not smoked, one is you aim around here below this line, do a 2-bar full charge, and it lands here. For the default plant, you can do it more tightly against almost at the edge here,
Shock dart.
and it lands tiny bit here to the right. So you can do that, that's one. And the other one is for dice is, oh sorry, no, triple box. If they're planting, you can deny the
Right
plant by hitting a shock dart that lands
Right
around here. And the other one, so for this one you do bit left from this line, one bounce and
here. Shock dart.
one bar, and you saw it lands there. For this one it's a bit trickier because it's easy to bounce it on one of these edges here, and it lands in the middle and it fucks up. So generally you wanna aim on this horizontal line here.
Shock dart.
See, it landed on this bottom one here. I'll do it with the recon so you can actually quicker see
Scanning ahead.
where it lands, like so. So you just do 2 of these in a row. I've gotten many kills like this. I've gotten a kill where I cancel Raise Assault, quite funny. But that's it if you're not smoked. Usually you are, and you won't be able to see this. And lining up here around the wall is actually very, very difficult and strange, because there aren't many things you can really properly line to. So I just made a general guideline how you can see if you're aiming right. I forgot to mention, you stand in this corner for all of these, and what you do is look at this rhomb square thingy here. And for the default plant, when you look over here, you want to have the shock dart bottom line like almost in the middle, like here-ish, right? Like here, right? Around the middle. It's fine if you aim a little bit down for this one, because it also helps to land it closer a bit more as well. And for the triple, you just aim slightly up so that the bottom, not bottom, top left corner of the mouse icon is around here-ish, like so. It's fine that the bottom line doesn't touch the of this side.
Shock dart.
Are skeptical of this, there is a different way you can line up, is using the bottom right HUD line, the end dot that is like either in the middle-ish and above, or more like 2/3 from left above. So this is like so, you can see, right?
Scanning ahead.
Right. And for this one, you wanna have it tiny bit to the right of the middle.
Revealing area.
Yeah, like this. I have seen another, it's not really a lineup, I call it skyrockets. You send the rockets to be default
Right here.
plant from A side, and what you do is go down in this corner. You have to make sure that they're actually not coming A, or there's no one lurking. You look up, you equip your shock dart, and you see the arrow that's under the left and right mouse buttons, right? And you want to put it like on this edge here, above the 2 pillars in the middle, like so. And then you're gonna just do a 2-bar. I'll do it with the recon.
Scanning ahead.
So I can get there in time, so I can show you. There you go. What about in the middle? So, like so.
Scanning ahead.
This is way better. If you can do this, do this. If not, do the first option I showed. In my old video, I mentioned that I had a lineup for dices from
Right
this area. It does leave you a bit open though, but it goes like this approximately. I have not tried this. You do 1 bar to, 2 bar 1 bounce along this wall here, like approximately like this. It hits here.
Right here.
Well, after that you aim around here
Shot down.
and just to do a tap. The idea behind the split shocks, when the first one lands, either they die, or if they don't die, then picking here is very risky because they would be open, but you would be open as well. So I would also think instinctively they would just move towards here, and that is why the second arrow is here, is to make them suffer. I just wanted to include this one. It may not be practical, especially in high elo, but it's still something. Now, towards B, when I'm rotating away from A to B, if they have not planted yet, I like to do a shock dart lineup where I stand here, I look up, the first bar, charge bar, I put it here, like so. I'm gonna do a 2 bar, look down, and I'm gonna line up the corner here with the HUD line dot, like so. And I'm gonna do a 1 bar. So it's gonna look like this.
Shock dart.
Like so. Easy peasy. The B lineup is the only shock dart lineup I actually use, because it's, well, there is not much you can do, especially post one. It's kind of tricky. So if I don't manage to use it, I just do some improvised shots for the inside here,
Right here.
or shoot some hookah, or long, or whatever is needed. So yeah, and this will conclude all the lineups for bind. So hello people, we're on Haven now. So we'll start with recons again on attacking side. We'll start with A side. In my old video I showed that I have this lineup where I line up this and this leaf together like this in a perfect harmony before Fire Nation attacked. I put the crosshair here in the middle, one bar, 1 bounce.
Shock dart.
Ignore this, but yeah, it would land there, and you know, it's kinda neat lineup, but it's slow. So that is why I created my own God Arrow. The God Arrow was inspired from Average Jonas lineup, from over here, when you're retaking A. So I wanted to use the same spot for the recon, just to take A as an attacker. So I came up with this solution. So what you do is you go up in this corner, you look up in the sky, and the left HUD line, rightmost dot, you wanna put it around here on this leaf. This lineup is pixel perfect, so keep that in mind, and it might depend on your resolution, your graphics, etc. So you will need to practice this quite a bit. So you line it like so, and then you do a 2 bar.
Revealing area.
And if everything is fine, it lands on up here. If you do it 1 pixel too much up, well, it's gonna land
Right
down
here.
here. If you do too much pixel down, either it lands here on the roof and it won't reveal most of it, only like half maybe. It's easier to hide from this one. or it will fall down here. So keep that in mind. I have another lineup I made. It lands on Heaven's like top part of window. It's a quick arrow you can do. The disadvantage is generally that area is smoked, so it might not give any effect. But I would suppose you would. So the lineup is like this. You look at this corner here and line it up with the burning edge. And then you aim at the corner here, and then a 2-bar.
Scanning ahead.
And it lands there on the tip, right? It sees pretty much everything except front side, hell, probably heaven itself as well, and this spot,
Right here.
which I gave the name for, that our team uses, called Yikers. So yeah, that's that. You could just keep moving more
Revealing area.
and do it like this instead. This might make it better, but the limitation is, probably you noticed, is that you can't go too much right, otherwise you have a risk
Right
of
here.
hitting this corner. I don't have any lineups from short, as I don't really push short. I feel like I'm very useless as initiator, especially Sova, except maybe drone, but I usually drone
Right here.
from here. Another recon I have is from this corner. Put the left diamond top corner on this pole here and do a 1-bar,
Scanning ahead.
and it lands also here. Typically use it if you're coming from a fake to from C or B towards A, when we don't really have smokes or can't do smokes. Then I do that. There is slight variation in the lineup here, where the one I showed is kinda mine, but was actually based on Jonas. Jonas lineup is you put the left diamond left corner on the 4th pillar
Scanning
and do a
ahead.
1-bar, and it should land not here but like
Right
it's
here.
here, which is better in the sense of spotting more
Right
this corner if there's someone, so you're clearing heaven fully. My lineup is like only would spot if there's someone opening, for example. Usually, yeah, that's smoked, so it doesn't really matter. If it's smoked, my lineup would be better, because then you can shoot it more outside of the smoke, or even, adjust it more to the left. But if you shoot Jonas arrow, it will land inside and it will spot nothing. Now I think I covered all of my main arrows I use to take on A. I have made one lineup that actually lands in B, which I've only seen one random solo player use once before. I don't know if it was their lineup, but I stole the idea and made my own lineup, which the arrow lands
Right
here,
here.
and it sees entire backside here. Disadvantage is it doesn't see this actual backside. It sees all these corners. It doesn't see places like this along the center part of the site, but it sees everyone who's camping here, who's
Right here.
camping up here, stuff like that. So it makes it easier to spot someone. I apologize. After a bit I noticed I actually didn't show the lineup for B. So what you do is you go in this
Right
corner
here.
and then you look up here and you wanna aim above the center of this pillar until it just touches this pillar's edge. Then you're gonna do a 2 bounce, a 2-bar, and a jump shot,
Revealing
like
area.
so. And we'll land inside, bounce off, and fail.
Scanning ahead.
This is a good revision for myself as well, because if I didn't make this video I wouldn't actually notice if I fuck up. But yeah, that is generally the lineup here. In my old video, I mentioned that there is a cool average Jonas arrow that lands inside here in the garage up here,
Right here.
and it spots everyone who's camping. And well, of course, I've learned it since then. I've been using it often whenever we push here. And the lineup is you line up the top corner under the timer in this corner here, like so, and then you full charge to
Revealing
bounce.
area.
It flies through this, which is not instinctual, and it lands up here and sees everything. Buggers. When taking C long, I have created my own god arrow. Typically, before a quick arrow you can do is just shoot around here,
Scanning ahead.
and it will land on the back wall, which I already showed in my old video. But I have a lineup for the god arrow I made, which is you stand along this wall, you line up this wall against the this light part so you don't see it. Then you're gonna do one bounce, full charge, and this is a bit tricky. You wanna line up so that the crosshair is under this darkish part, but still above like this, otherwise it will bounce against this and go inside. If you do it too high up, it will land on the roof and spot nothing. So this will take some practice, and it's like around here,
Scanning ahead.
like so. It is a bit pixel perfect, but it literally sees pretty much everything on the side. The only thing it might not see, it actually does see this corner. It doesn't see this corner only, but as you push you would have checked this anyway. Oh, and it doesn't check this corner also, so keep that in mind. For C-Long, I showed you my gold arrow, but there is another lineup I found out that I never used, but actually I might start using now. Is you go in this corner, and instead of doing like this normal one bar that would land on the roof, you stand here and aim at the tip of the leaf and do one bar.
Revealing area.
And this one instead will land on this corner roof here. So it will also spot everything. And it's a very nice alternative to the god arrow, if it always gets destroyed. Rightio. Let's start with A. The first arrow I do is at the start of the match when you have a barrier. If you don't have a barrier, the barrier is approximately here. When you stand here, you should be in the corner. And first arrow, which is mine, I put my crosshair just under this spike in the leaves, like so, with a full bar,
Revealing area.
and it lands in the corner. Like most people don't ever expect it. Like always get someone if they're coming here, or they just choose to destroy it, which is still info. Another lineup I was using at the start, but then stopped. And now I found out about it again from Jonas' video from 2 years ago. And he had this lineup as well, which is really good. He did it like this. I do it like this.
Scanning ahead.
The difference is mine lands here,
Right here.
with spots everything, and
Right here.
here. Jones' lineup lands around
Revealing
here.
area.
It's slightly better into the window, but slightly worse
Right here.
here. His lineup is better if you wanna coordinate with your teammate that who's playing B, that he could spam through the wall if it spots anyone. That's the idea. But I use my version more. This is probably more than an improvisation, but at this point it has become a kinda spot I shoot at, which is if they're already long
Right
and
here.
they're pushing the side, but you still want to know exactly, you can shoot up
Scanning
here
ahead.
for this corner, and like you usually get someone. as defender on A. That's actually all I use from hard lineups. When retaking from any site to A, this is also Jonas lineup, which was already mentioned was on the attacker side, is that you put the left
Scanning
diamond
ahead.
left corner in this
Right here.
bit here, like kinda like so.
Revealing area.
And that's his entire set. Alright, so now we're playing on B. One arrow I like to do is, which is my lineup. So what you do is line up here. You aim between the two windows around here. You see this thingy? You wanna aim around here.
Revealing area.
Lands on this edge and it says window and grass. This is also a great lineup that it has a good chance of failing, because if you have enemies with good reaction time, they will just destroy it because, well, it's in front of them. But if you do get someone, you can just, wallbang. Right, so alternative to, not alternative, this arrow was inspired by Jonas arrow, where you would stand in this corner instead, and you would aim at the top of this red cloth. You do a 1 bar 1 bounce.
Scanning ahead.
That's not your Discord, and it's achieved the same thing. So there are some Jonas lineups as well. I have completely forgotten because I stopped using them as I just started playing on A side all the time pretty much. One is you can shoot a recon down here
Right here.
in short, and you could wallbang it through this door or through
Right here.
this corner. I don't really use it, but it's nice info to have, or just shoot it generally, yeah, for info if they're camping short or something. And how you do it is you find this, so there's these two Y-shaped cracks, and you want to go to this one that's in the middle. You want to stand on this line and then look up, and then put your right diamond left corner a few pixels above the corner of this one, and then you want to do a 2 bounce to
Scanning ahead.
2 bar. Lands inside here. Another lineup is for revealing garden
Right
here.
here.
You can stand in this corner and look at the third line here. Wanna aim at here where the black meets the brown. Do a 1 bar jump shot.
Revealing area.
This is also a Jonas lineup. I want to show these even though I don't really use them. Well, I might start using them, but so they don't get lost in the history. Another Jonas lineup is you stand again at this Y-shaped crack. You stand this time in around here in the middle, and you want to look again on the third, the same as previous, and do a 1 bar jump shot.
Revealing area.
Let it land here. This is an arrow if you wanna shoot for yourself to also wallbang window. So you shoot it, then you keep running, and by the time it hits, you're in position to take the shot. There is a lineup you can do from B that lands inside garage.
Right here.
Just stand in this corner here and go until you don't move. Aim then in the middle of this pipe or whatever, and do a 2 bounce full charge.
Revealing area.
Lands here. And you can throw this wallbang with Odin, heavy penetration, someone. But it's very risky. You have to for sure know no one's gonna come mid or whatever. But yeah, this is also Jones lineup. I didn't mention it. A cool recon you can do also while playing on B is you can shoot it up here on the wall and to catch them rotating or generally some info, and it's very handy. So you stand up here in this corner until you don't move, then you aim at this window and aim kinda high a bit up, like so. 2 bounces, full charge.
Scanning ahead.
And it lands all the way here. Amazing lineup. If I didn't mention, it's Jones lineup as well. So I've covered I think all arrows on B. B is not the greatest site to play Sova on, but luckily there are some things you can do. So we'll move on to C. First lineup is you stand in this corner. This is a nice retaking arrow. I shoot pretty much every time if I have arrow up, and you aim ideally at here. Here is also fine. I do a 1 bounce full charge
Ahead.
and lands there, and if you aim it a bit left, it would also see this corner here. That is why, well, you do want to do it.
Revealing area.
If you shoot it too much left though, it will hit this. So there is another lineup that I kinda made, but it's difficult to pull off because of Ascent Immortal rank, Elo, where you're a little bit too exposed to be able to actually shoot this unless you 100% know that they're hiding here or here. This is an alternative to the arrow I showed earlier, and what you do is you stand so that the corner of this wall around is like so. Then you wanna aim here generally and do a 2 bounce full charge.
Revealing area.
That was the unluckiest 2nd bounce ever. I guess you wanna aim it more to the metal plate there.
Scanning ahead.
I haven't fully tested this, but here you go. Now, as playing on C is not a bad side for Sova to play on. I personally think A is probably, well actually I'll agree to the Jonas statement that Sova is best on A or C, because you can easily shoot an arrow and see if
Right here.
they're here. If they're not here, well then they must be either coming B or A. So yeah. But the first lineup is you stand in the default corner and you aim at this crack here. Just put your crosshair on a crack here and you do a full charge.
Revealing area.
And it should land up here. I've never met really a Sova on this elo who shoots such an arrow. Usually on the at least on the first shot they will not expect it. Yeah, I forgot to mention if it's Jonas lineup. Another Jonas lineup is you can shoot a dart that lands here on the box and sees if they're going A or being slow or rotating from C to somewhere else. What you do is stand in this corner here and you want to find these 2 comp specs on the wall, and you want to imagine there's a line going like this, extending from here and then going up from here, and then you find approximately the spot, and then you do a 1 bounce full charge. I fucked it up. It should land here. You want to aim, instead of finding extension, you do it like this from straight ish, and it should be fine.
Ahead.
It doesn't matter. You don't want to aim too much higher because it might hit the roof then. As of recording the continuation from B few clips to now, they have changed the Sova HUD. So some lineups like A gold arrow from attacker side, you need to adjust it so it actually keeps landing up here. The one in the video shown previously will not work unless they change it back, so keep that in mind as well. There is another lineup you can do besides the branch one. Branch is easier. This is also Jonas lineup. I don't really ever use it. Which is you aim crosshair like on this corner here, or maybe a tiny bit above. Do one bounce full charge.
Revealing area.
And it lands here, and see it's also here. Didn't wanna get this forgotten. So now I think I've covered all recons on Haven. I want to mention here,
Right here.
for this one I showed earlier, you can still make it, perfect it yourself. Ideally you do want to land it kinda on this
Right here.
corner here, so you can also see this potentially and stuff like that. Alrighty, so it's time to do some shockies. Well, compared to the amount of recons you can do on this map, there is gonna be less shock darts. Also, well, they're Jonas's arrows. So the first arrow is as post plant, as an attacker said, yeah. We'll start with A, of course. And what you do is you stand in this corner, you look at this fucking roof's edge, you aim around here. What you do is one bar, one bounce, and then you're gonna just aim just right of this lamp and tap. So it will look like this.
Shock dart.
Like so. Yeah, besides this, there isn't really any other shock dart lineup I do. Alright, so I'm not sure if this is Jonas lineup, but I'm fairly confident it is mine, because, well, this is not as practical. If you ever get stuck in post plant in this
Right
corner,
here.
and is the bomb planted either
Right here.
here or here, then you can throw some shockies. If it's default in the corner here,
Right here.
you aim, so imagine you have this line and this point. But there is this brick, and you can fairly see this outline that it would go up, right? And you just want to aim here. I'll do it with recon instead. And you do one bounce full
Scanning
charge,
ahead.
and lands nicely here. But anyway, the lineup is you still stand here, you aim at the same place, but instead you move along the wall until you meet this point, and without moving the mouse. And after you're here, you move the mouse under this one,
Revealing area.
like so. That is the closest lineup I could find from this spot, which is kinda tricky. Never mind, I literally found it in like 20 seconds, because I had a cool idea. You stand in the same corner, and instead of aiming here, as I showed, you wanna aim on this dot here. This little dot here. And you wanna do instead 2 bounces full
Revealing
charge,
area.
and lands like so. So, well, there isn't anything for garage, for shock darts. We can move on to seaside then. First, double shock dart is also post plant. The following 3 are gonna be post plant. And so the first one is for default plant. In case you don't know, that's here.
Right here.
You stand along this wall, align this wall's edge with the first pillar here. You look in the sky, and you wanna put the left hood dot, luckily it hasn't been changed, in the middle of this circle here, like so. You're gonna do 1 bar, and then you're gonna look over here along this horizontal crack in the wall here, but aim here along this wall here, and you're gonna do 1 bounce full charge, and together it looks like so. So
Revealing
1
area.
bar, and then
Scanning
like
ahead.
so. You could try adjusting it more. I have noticed this issue after the shock dart change, and I was messing around that you probably should move more to the right instead, so that you're kind of halfway of this, whatever this circular thing is. And the first arrow is gonna be the same, the second is you still aim along this edge here. Or actually, no, I think it was...
Scanning ahead.
Yeah. I haven't used this in over a year, so give me a break. So it's like
Revealing area. Revealing area.
Perfection. The first one, original, was Jonas. This one is my updated version. So the second lineup is for a long plant on this corner. It's similar to the previous, you stand along the wall. Instead you want to line up the first pillar with the wall. And you want to put the dot of the mouse icons inside this little thingy here, like so. Then you're gonna do a one bar, and then you're gonna look along the edge here, do a one bounce full charge. So it will, I'll do it with recons instead.
Revealing area.
You
Revealing
wanna
area.
aim a tiny bit lower for the second one, like so. You can try adjusting like this. I think this is also mine attempt to make it better.
Scanning ahead.
Which would be
Scanning ahead.
a narrower angle, no, wider angle, sorry, so it lands a bit closer. There was a funny timing thing you can do with shock darts, is if you're above the plant, standing on the plant, let's say, you can do a lineup from the its spot here. And it is kind of troll, but it has saved some rounds. And what you do is look down, do a 2 bounce full charge, then you look straight up, and you do the same, but you count to 7 and then you shoot the second arrow. I still have to work on the timing, so I'll try. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Shock dart.
Let's see how well I can do. Holy shit, I did it perfect. I do want to give a side note though, that on some plants such as on Ascent B, it doesn't work because the ground is very uneven. And also I want to mention that even such things as this,
Revealing area.
they can mess up the alignment. For example, on Icebox B side, there is the wire, and it can actually bounce off. See? I shoot it at the edge here. Look where it landed. See? So that is the issue with this. You have to have perfectly flat ground. But yeah, there you go. Nice little trick you can do. This is I'm going to show now is my creation. I like it, but it's very rarely used because, well, you have to be in cubby. If you're smoked, the plant is default and you still got shockies. There is still something you can do, especially if you have a teammate holding this, then it's Gucci. So what you do is you align yourself with the left edge of this pole, and then you're gonna look on this corner here, intersection. You're gonna do a 1 bar, then you're gonna instantly step back all the way into the corner and look at the tip of this leaf and do a tap. I don't know how it looks on other graphics. The same. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. Alright, good to know. So I'll show it with the recons instead. So you see.
Scanning ahead. Scanning ahead.
This is probably the closest timing I can pull off from being in cubby. Anyway, I think this concludes the attacker side for shock darts. We'll now move on to defenders. Alright, so defenders and shockeys. We'll start with A. There is really only one double shock dart lineup I use if I'm in the position to do so and they're about to plant, which is I line up the right diamond bottom corner on this intersection with the wire and do a 1 bar, and then I just aim down directly down to the right of this lamp and do a tap, so the lineup goes like so.
Revealing area.
Like so. It's important to not to go too much left on the second arrow, otherwise, as you saw, you will hit the box. For A, yeah, this is pretty much the only lineup I use. Well, you're kinda limited. If I know they're in mid camping here,
Right here.
I mean here,
Right here.
you can do a, well, it's not really lineup, but kinda is a lineup. This is my lineup. Previous on A was Jonas' lineup, I forgot to mention. Is you just stand around here, do a 2 bounce full charge, and lands here. Alright, so now I'll show you see default plant arrow. Well, you want to shoot it if they're about to plant. You stand in this corner. This is a Jonas lineup. You put the left dot of the green bar drone icon on this pillar's edge here, corner like this. Do a 1 bar. Then you're gonna pull directly down until the leftmost HUD dot touches this pillar's corner, and then you're gonna do a tap, which together looks like this.
Scanning ahead.
I'll do with this, and well, yeah. And as you can see, the issue with the second, it lands way too far away and needs some improvements. And I was messing around a bit and I figured what you can do. It's much closer to the default plant. You can still use the original lineup if you just want to generally just land some shock darts in the area. But if you want to specifically target default, then first arrow doesn't change. But the second one is, instead of aiming on the pillar's corner, you want to aim here. Well, I just want to, for clarity, I found, I updated the second arrow. So anyway, together it looks like this.
Scanning ahead. Revealing area.
Like so. You can see the previous
Right
was
here.
like almost in the middle. Now it's here. Well, sadly for shock darts on Defender, that's pretty much everything I use. Of course, there are some improv arrows I do, but they're not really hard lineups. I have covered every arrow, Jones's or mine, I use on Haven. Alright, welcome to Icebox. Before we start, I wanna mention the lineups I'll be showing. Pretty much all of them are Jonas arrows, and I went through 2 of his lineup videos that are by this point. One of them is pretty much outdated, and the second is kinda outdated because, well, the map has been also secretly changed, so even the updated video of his doesn't fully work. So I had to intervene and recreate the arrows myself. I'll try to show the original lineup and the updated lineup. Some shock dart lineups, for example, where would you stand in this corner for default? I could not find a remade version because, well, firstly, shock dart change, as I've on previous maps said, is changed, so one of his arrows would land here, but that would not deal enough damage anymore to kill probably. And the walls have been changed as well, so some stuff doesn't work. Anyway, alright, so we'll start with A, attacker side, as per tradition. So the first recon is, it will reveal this and some front area a little bit. It is supposed to land on this edge right here. So the way you line up is you go up here, line up like so. Then you want to put the charge board line left bottom corner on here. Jonas, before I continue, the Jonas's arrow is the background and everything is totally changed, so I can't even show you how the old one was. The window was lower and stuff like that, but essentially the lineup is you put the bottom left charge line here, like so, and then you're gonna to bounce full charge,
Revealing area.
and it lands right here. If you don't wanna reveal this, which I personally don't really ever, because you can easily clear this by jumping here on the box. If you're running though, at the start of the round, you can actually catch someone sneakily roping across. The lineup is that you line up this wall's corner with that wall's corner. Like so. It doesn't matter where you stand really. And you aim like so. You don't want to aim at the complete edge because it's rounded and it will bounce off. You want to go a little bit left of it. And you want to do one bounce full charge.
Revealing area.
And it lands on this corner here. Alright, so we're done with A. There is a arrow you can land up here.
Right here.
You stand in this corner. You put the left drone dot up on this corner here, like so, and do one more.
Revealing area.
It should land up here, like so. There is something you can do to reveal more mid, is you go up this angle and just shoot it, one bounce full charge. But what I used to do if you ever went to mid to B, I would just do this arrow to land up here, to the orange. It's not a bad arrow as well, but this one is actually better. For B, from here you can't really do anything, but you can reveal this whole area on eco rounds or something, where they might be camping you. And to do that, you go against this wall, line up. So the wall, you don't see this black and yellow. Doesn't have to be pixel perfect. When you wanna aim on the lower half alongside the wall here, around so, and it will land up here. This is not a Jonas's lineup because this is not either really a lineup. But in case you didn't use the arrow here, you kinda still need to clear backside and side itself. And I literally just came with an idea for an arrow. You stand around here. You're still protected from side itself. You put the charge line top alongside with the 0 here. And do a jump 1 bar. And it lands here. There is a cool wallbang you can do on B if you're an attacker. If the bomb is planted anywhere here, if you find yourself up here, you can shoot a recon. They will get revealed, and as long as you aim pretty much directly down, you can actually wallbang this. So yeah, okay, you need at least medium penetration to do this. Alright, I think I've covered all recons you can do from attacker. There's not whole many, well, because you don't really need that many. We'll start with A again. So first lineup is from Jonas's. It is kind of lost if you would watch the video, because this entire gen model is completely changed. You can't line it up the way he describes it. Luckily, for real, luckily, there is a lineup you can do, which is you put the left diamond bottom corner on the intersection of these lines, and you do one bounce full charge. And both this and the original lands here, and see his entire belt under here. This is my lineup. I've never seen anyone else use this, which I've actually been using for a while. Is you stand up here, you crouch anywhere around here, so that imagine if enemies wouldn't see you, and you just put your center crosshair. Maybe this is a crosshair thing, But essentially, if you have a small crosshair, you can put the bottom of it on this line here, above here, this triangle, and do just a full charge,
Scanning ahead.
and lands on the tip here. This would be nice alternative now to that one. If I'm retaking A, I generally just shoot a recon up here, so it lands up here. Most of the time no one really expects it, and you're 99% of the time you actually reveal someone. It's kind of easy to hide from as well, but it reveals a really good portion. There is a lineup you can do to reveal mid and kind of spawn area. This arrow is not as good as the Jonas's version, but the problem is, one, they've changed this place, and the corner here itself. It's it was perfectly 90 degrees, now they changed it to 245 degree angles. That makes it harder. So the original lineup would have been, you would stand on this little speck of square here in the middle of it, and you would put your bar along below this N and do a one bounce and a full charge.
Scanning ahead.
But as you see, it doesn't work anymore, it just lands here. So I try to make as close as possible, but while still having the benefit of being somewhat protected from if they suddenly rush mid, because that one is kind of open. Anyway, so the lineup is, my crosshair helps a lot for this, but essentially you want to put the center of your crosshair in the middle of this O letter, but you want to put it like on the edge of it and slightly in, like here, and you would do one bounce full charge, and you can go tiny pixel, 1 or 2 pixels more to the left, so that lands more. But as soon as you aim around the middle of the font, whatever, or outside, it will just fly past. So that is the issue. They keep nerfing the lineups. So let me try to recreate it once more. It's important to have it in the middle because it barely goes over the containers. These ones you saw. Okay, this is about the same, but you get the idea. You can try experimenting yourself if you want to truly perfect it. Jonas had some lineups that you could just shoot inside the tube here. You don't really need the lineup, just stand around here, shoot here, double bounce, boom, boom, bada bing, bada boom. You can just spray this shit. No need for a lineup. There is a cool lineup though he had that landed inside kitchen through this window here. The lineup has had to be changed by yours truly, because there used to be a stepping up here, another one, but there isn't anymore. So I had to find the lineup for it, and lining up for it is kind of tricky, but you'll get used to it. So what you do is you go up this corner, aim at the black box here, but instead you go down to there's this 2 cracks on the, well, they're not cracks, but you want to aim here. They look like cracks from this point of view, so you want to aim to the gray one instead of the blue one. You want to aim at the gray one, and you keep going backwards until you see that the edge of the bow touches the outer line of the circle here, like so ish. Then you want to aim below the top part of this box, either in the middle or the top, below the top part, and do a one bounce full charge, and it lands here. Ideally I like to have it also here, but the risk is then probably won't get spotted. So you have the lineup, you can experiment yourself for the pixel perfection, but that's how you line up for it now. I created this lineup that lands around here. You'll stand on this line here, and you put the corner of the HUD thingy on the tip of here, this letter K, like so. You do one bounce full charge,
revealing area,
and lands here. There is a recon you can do to B. Either you can use it to check and rat out people who are playing post plant in ratty corners or for lineups or whatever, or you can use it as, while you're still playing mid, you can just shoot it to reveal that for your teammate as well, or whatever the case may be. Mainly to reveal ratty corners for retakes. The terrain and generally the HUD also has been changed by Riot to try to stop you using lineups. One thing they did is this annoying circle that shows on the arrow, because like you can't see anything in here. They have adjusted all these corners to be full of angles, so you can't do, limits a lot of lineups. Anyway, rant over. I'll show you the lineup for this. What you do is stand in the corner here, and you wanna align the second charge line on this corner here, like so. So the top of it touches the black roof railing thingy, like so. And you're gonna do one bar.
Scanning ahead.
This is also Jones lineup, and it lands on here. If you're playing B, there is something you can do to help out your team. If the enemy team is pushing A, you can send a recon to help them. The way you do it is you stand in this corner. The original lineup is you would crouch, put the used to be a black spot over here. They removed it, and they have lowered the doorway here, so the Jonas's original lineup would not even land. And with original lineup I can show you like so.
Revealing area.
It would land up here, but now you see there's it's lowered. It used to be higher and it would just bounce normally. So I had to adjust a bit to find the lineup. Icebox has a lot of potential, but the issue is there's very few things on the walls and stuff that you can actually line up properly. So what you do is the same thing as before, but you put it in the corner, but instead of shooting you wanna aim it slightly up, so that your crosshair center point is perfectly horizontal to this corner here, right?
Scanning ahead.
Yeah. So the first lineup is, well, of course it's attacker side, post plant. The Jonas original lineup would have been you line up on this corner and do one bounce, one bar. But they've changed the logo location, so it doesn't work anymore. The second arrow still works. So my new lineup for the first arrow is you go down to this from this metal thingy until the charge bar line lower left corner touches this container's edge, like so. Then you're gonna still do the one bounce, one bar, and then second lineup is you put the left diamond top corner on this edge here and do two bounces full charge. So together it will look like this.
Revealing area. Revealing area.
You want to shoot the second arrow when you hear the first do a bounce. I have an alternative for default plant in case you're smoked or whatever, which is unlikely the case. You can do an arrow that I saw on Jonas' video, but he didn't really have a lineup for it. He was just messing around, but I tried to recreate it. So the first arrow is not gonna be this one as I showed in the previous lineup. It's gonna be here. You're gonna aim just under the thing here, this metal thing. You're gonna do a 2 bar, then you're just gonna do go down and then do one bounce, one bar. Together it's gonna look like this.
Scanning ahead. Revealing area.
I can't really get the timing more perfect, so that's what you have to work with, but it's still pretty close enough to be kind of effective. I do want to mention though, for previous in this lineup, for this arrow, you don't want to go directly down, you want to go tiny bit to the right with the crosshair, while still having the charge line corner here, right? The issue is because it will hit this and either it will bounce off to up here. So yeah, keep that in mind. Alright, so there isn't much I can show you on attacker side shock darts. There is a few more than one or two on defender side. Let's start with that. This targets the default plant or plant over here. So what you do is go into this corner and you will put the shock dart icon in, not the tip but the bottom of it, of this corner here, like so. It's harder to do with the shock darts equipped. Then you're gonna do one bounce, one bar. Then you're gonna look straight up and place the charge corner here and do a tap. So together it's gonna look like this.
Shock dart. Shock dart.
It's important to make sure they land around here.
Plant the spike.
So that it can hit if they plant here or here. For mid, I have a cool Jonas's lineup I can show you, which targets the ult point area. So you can instantly shoot it as the round starts to try to damage someone or kill someone. So what you do is you go walk up all the way in this corner, you look up in the sky, and you wanna line up so that the star here is just above the charge bar line and the first bar is left of this star. Preferably I would take out my recon and align the indicators for mouse and stuff to be horizontal with this black and white line, like so. This is like a safety measure. So that's why I would recommend shooting it instantly started with a round before you've shot your recon even. Because if they rush B, well, they will be straight going for the point, right? Sure, they can go slow and stuff, but you never know. So this is how you line up the first arrow. The second arrow, you go down and you put the second charge bar line just left of this line here, like so. And then you're gonna do one bar. So I'll do it with recon so it's easier to see. Together it will look like this.
Revealing area. Scanning ahead.
No! I failed. First time I failed that one.
Shock dart.
There we go. Alright, so next lineup is for default B plant here.
Plant the spike.
Because, well, this is most common plant. You can plant outwards. So this is important arrow, I think, to know. There is a possibility you could be smoked and they could push you, but that depends on the matchup and yeah. So anyway, the lineup is you go in this corner, not this one. There is actually a corner here, and then you're gonna look up in the sky. Put the left diamond top corner on this crane tip here, like so. Then you're gonna look over here. You're gonna sidestep so that approximately you don't see this white part. You need to practice this based on intuition and, you know. And when you do that, you wanna have your left bottom corner of the charge bar line on this intersection here. This is also a Jonas lineup, I forgot to mention.
Revealing area. Scanning ahead.
Like so. You can of course practice to get it more closer, but yeah, it's a bit wonky. So yeah, I think I've covered all arrows now on Icebox. I kinda know and intend to use. So yeah, on to the next map. Right, welcome to Pearl. Didn't expect this one, right? So I'll start by covering my arrows I know, and after that I'll show you Jonas's arrows. I just watched his video before recording, so I'm gonna show you some of his lineups as well. I decided to learn. So yeah, let's get right into it. So going A, I don't have really any fancy lineups for recons. If my teammates wanna push art, I just shoot an arrow art.
Scanning ahead.
That generally does the trick. If we wanna push a site, I do have a god arrow that if you just stand around here so that you see this grey roof, you just wanna aim for the tip of it and do a full charge, and it should land up here. And it sees pretty much everything. If you wanna reveal a bit closer, then you can just aim generally around here.
Revealing area.
So that it lands on this ledge here. It's good to spot people who wanna kinda push and contest this area. I do have a cool lineup that Jonas doesn't actually show or know. His lineups for highway here, they landed over here just to reveal this place. But I have a cooler one, which is you stand in this corner and you put the left diamond bottom corner on this corner here, and you just do a tap.
Revealing area.
And what it does is lands here. So not it only reveals this area, it also reveals here, which is cool. My lineup for B is I go up in this corner. I put the left diamond left corner on this antenna part thing here and do a 1 bar.
Scanning ahead.
And it lands here. It's nice to see the backside, a little bit of someone here if they're hiding just close and about to peek and stuff like that. And from the same position you can do another arrow. You put the right diamond bottom corner on this antenna tip here and do a 1 bar.
Revealing area.
This is good if you wanna reveal more site, like more around here, or just use it as an alternative recon. It won't reveal people who usually play around here because this is easy hiding spot, but you could say the same about arrow over there. If I did not use the arrow, then I just typically just shoot
Scanning ahead.
on the wall there. Simple as that. Alright, so I've covered my recons on attacker side. I'll now show you Jonas arrows. So the first one is very simple, which targets highway as well.
Right here.
But it's not as well good, but it's still good enough if you want to help your team while still having the focus to push A. While meanwhile mine was you wanna push with your team
right here,
or go B from that area and you wanna help them out. You line up with this corner, like so. You put the left mouse indicator dot in the middle of here and you do a 1 bar.
Revealing area.
Like so. I want to include 2 fake arrows Jonas has shown in his video, which I found really cool because they're amazing to fake a site. So the one is if you want to go A, you line up with the archway with this corner here, like so, and then you want to aim down from this leaf just above the archway, like so. 2 bounces, full charge.
Revealing area.
And it lands here. The only thing I find weird though is that it does not land on site somewhere. As a fake, sure, but like if you want a realistic fake, then you kind of want to try to hit it on site, no? So I was trying to mess around with the arrow. If I could try to make it more towards site itself. Well, closest I could do is that you line up here along the archway and you aim for this spec up here and double bounce charge.
Revealing area.
It lands still on the roof, but I could not find good enough angle from there to have it land there. I think it's possible, it's just quite difficult. Another lineup, if you want to go B and shoot an arrow at A to fake, this is the Jonas lineup. You stand along this wall, you line up this roof corner with the archway, and then Jonas lineup shows that you do the arrow here, put the second charge bar line under here. When I'm trying to do that, it fails.
Scanning ahead.
It hits the roof
Right
here. Yeah.
Right here.
So I would say instead place it under this lamp here.
Revealing area.
And then it goes into backside, as it should be. So alright, so now we move on to defender side. When playing A, I like to do an arrow here. It's not a fancy lineup. So quick note, I'll show my arrows first again, then Jonas. So what I do is just, depending on timing and whatever, I decide when to shoot on this corner here from heart. This is literally reveals everyone, pretty much. Alternative is if I play more towards side, I aim for this corner of this cloth here and just shoot it. And if they're pushing, well, they'll be here. If I ever happen to play here, well, then I typically do arrow up here.
Revealing area.
It's the closest and also the simplest arrow you could do for mid. When retaking B, for example, I aim around here and just do a one board jump shot. Well, not there, more like this.
Scanning ahead.
So it lands on this wall somewhere, and yeah, it helps your team if needed. As a B player though, I have made 2 lineups. Well, I had 3, but I don't use the third one. So I'll show you my oldest one first, which is you would just aim around here and just
revealing area.
Shoot like that. And yeah, that's what I would do before I knew any lineups. So I made 2 lineups. One is I line up this wall edge with that pillar edge. I aim on the gray bit above the 2 ass cracks, I like to call them, and I do one bounce full charge. It lands nicely on the tree. Another cool lineup you can do that also lands on the tree. If you play here instead, what I do is I line up this edge with that edge, like so. I crouch and I aim around here. The point is for it to land on the top of this square box thing. And you do 2 bounces full charge.
Revealing area.
And then there's a fancy thing like that. So another lineup. So this now I'll move on to Jonas lineups. Since I don't play here, I don't see myself using this. But if you wanna reveal a main, you'll align the first bar below the corner of this yellow white triangle, like so. And just do a full charge. And yeah, the reveals, you can hide from it and stuff. I mean, it's a good arrow. Jonas had a lineup, so for the tree as well. But instead he stood in this corner and aimed somewhere here, I don't know exactly.
Revealing area.
Something like that, yeah. So he has a really good arrow. I'll most likely start using as well. Is if I wanna reveal shop, because I never really had an arrow, I would just normally shoot it just like this or above the wall. But like, so the lineup is you align the roof corner with the wall edge like so. You put the left diamond along the wall, and also so the left diamond bottom corner is just touching this circular thingy here, and you do a full charge. If it's too hard or you need a quicker version, I figured you can align the left diamond top below the lamps, like you can imagine it looks like a hat below this one. Pirate hat, I don't know. And
Revealing
shoot it
area.
like that. So Jonas has a neat little lineup for the same roof corner
Right
up
here.
here. If you play here, before the spawn barrier is down, you go up in this corner, aim in the middle of this line and this line, just on the edge of the building here. You do a one bounce full charge.
Scanning ahead.
Yeah, it lands there. I didn't fuck up, don't worry. So if you're retaking A, this is also Jonas' lineup. The way he shows it currently seems like it falls inside
Scanning ahead.
the thing
Right here.
here. Oh no, it doesn't. Okay, never mind. That's the lineup. Bye. Just kidding. So the way lineup is going in the middle, and you put the left corner around here. If you're scared to know exactly how much, you can just safely put it in the corner here.
Revealing area.
It's gonna land lower, but you wanna do a bit
Revealing
lower
area.
than that. So yeah, this stands a bit lower, this lands a bit higher. So Jonas has a neat little lineup from CT here. You go in this corner, you aim on around here, above this thingy, do a bounce full
Scanning
charge, and it lands into Link. And as he says, if you have ult, it's a nice place to ult from as well. But I wanna add a little note here. I've been often in scenarios instead of needing to arrow into Link, which is rare for me and my playstyle. It's more common for me to actually to be in a need to shoot a good arrow from here to reveal sight. And well, I figured I could try, and I came up with it in like 10 seconds. So you stand in the same corner, but instead you aim on this this part here.
Scanning ahead.
And lands on the corner. Alright, so if I... this is of course another Janus lineup, which is an amazing one. If you happen to be retaking B, and you're in here in highway, you can do an arrow from this corner to reveal whole site and possibly even long. So what you do is crouch, aim just left of this brick here. Watch me do this first try. And you do 2 bounces full charge.
Scanning ahead.
There you go. And seize long. Alright, so I've covered I think all recons on Pearl. Now we will move on to shock darts. So we'll start the day. Of course, I'll show my lineups first. Well, I'll say it right here and now. I have only one lineup, so that's combined in attacker and defender side, which is for post plant on A, which I will show you right now, which I think probably is easier than Jonas lineup, and I came up with it way before I watched the Jonas video. All my lineups are figured out way before I watched the Jonas video. Anyway, the way you do it is you go in this corner, you look up from this flying fucking brick, and you wanna put your crosshair center on kind of this leaf here, and you're gonna do a 2-bar, and then you're gonna look down at the edge before under here and do a 1-bar. So together it will look like this.
Revealing area. Scanning ahead.
And they land perfectly. Jonas lineup, I don't exactly remember how he did it. He did a 1-bar and then somewhere here 1-bar, 1 bounce, something like that. He said it's difficult to find the lineup, but I feel proud because I did find a better one, I feel like. Because his disadvantage was that it fell
Plant the spike.
kind of bit too far maybe from the corner or something. I don't remember, but yeah. I feel proud of this one. So this is a Jonas lineup from here, Link.
Right here.
Needs to be called connector instead. It targets default, and the lineup is you put the left HUD rightmost dot under the middle of this line, like so. Do a 1-bar. Then you go down, put the left bottom corner of the charge bar over here, and do a tap, like so. I'll do it with recons, so together it looks like this.
Scanning ahead. Revealing area.
It's fine if it's off angle, but otherwise it will hit the wall. So this is journal lineup as well. It targets a site.
Right here.
I forgot the name of this plant. It's good if you play B or just about rotate or you know. Anyway, so the lineup is you put the letter C of your drone on the tip of this little ball here. Like so. Not the dot, but the letter itself. You're gonna do a 2-bar and then you're gonna go down and put the shock dart right top mouse indicator corner on the flower basket here. Like so. And you're gonna do 1-bar jump shot.
Shock dart.
Bada bim, bada boom. So Jonas lineup is for contesting a main orb.
Right here.
So what you do is go in this corner. You align the shock dart rightmost dot over here. Here. Like so. You're gonna do a 2-bar. Then you're gonna go directly down until the right bottom corner of the charge bar line touches the roof thingy here, and you're gonna do a 1-bar. While you have shock darts equipped, you can't see the lineup, so you have to equip a knife or a gun or something. So the lineup looks like this. There is a lineup you can do to counter plant for this corner
Right
here.
here.
If you have all lowest settings, then the lineup is you stand at the line here. You aim the bottom left in the corner here where it touches and do a 1-bar. Then you're gonna look down until the diamond, left diamond top is in the corner here, and you're gonna tap. So together the lineup looks like this.
Shock dart.
That's Jonas' lineup, but I play on medium. So for me it would be like this. I aim like so. I aim the corner triangle thingy on this part here, like so. I do 1-bar, and the second one is the same with the diamond. So yeah, so together it looks like this.
Shock dart.
My lineup though is slightly better, I feel like, because Jonas' arrow lands here. My both
Right
kind of land here, and it can damage both sides of the wall corner. So, well, up to you which you want to use. There is a post plant B default
Plant the spike.
shock dart that I've always wanted to have. So this is a Jonas lineup, of course, as well. I have tried to create it from this spot, but never really found it. Anyway, the lineup is you line up this wall edge with the pillar's edge, like so. You put the left hood, left dot, second dot on here, here, like so. You're gonna do a 2-bar, then you're gonna do a double bounce full charge while aiming on this floor line here, and you wait like a second before you shoot the second one. So together it looks like this. There you go. Well, of course, for this one, last one, it's kind of pointless to do. But it's funny if you can actually pull it off. This is all credits to Jonas for this one. It seemed like it's a complex arrow, but like I learned it in like a minute. So I have different graphics, so I had to find a different lineup. I have medium graphics on everything, and I aim my crosshair in this little speck middle here. 1 bounce 2-bar, same as his. Then same his position. Second brick from here, third from here, in the middle. You're gonna look on right half in the middle here, do a 1 bounce 2-bar. Together that looks like this.
Revealing area. Revealing area.